This is Quadratic number 25, and we're going to begin with evaluating the expressions. Now, since we don't have a complete square for 45, we have to find the factors of it. And to do that, we know that 9 times 5 is equal to 45. So, from that information, we know that 9 is also a complete square, so we can square root that, leaving us with only 3 square root of 5 as our answer. Now, using square roots to solve quadratic equations. So we have a quadratic equation right over here. So our goal is to make sure x stays alone. So how do we do that? Well, in this case, we have to divide by 4, which gives us x squared is equal to 10. With that information, we know that if we know that x squared is equal to 10, we can square root both sides, leaving us with only square root of 10. And that would be our answer. Moving on. If we solve, now it's asking us for us to solve the equation, which is basically the same thing from over here. So what do? We want to make sure x is alone. And how do we do that? Well, we divide 33 on both sides, giving us only x squared is equal to, now, if you put this in the calculator, 297 divided by 33 will give you 9, which is a complete square, which means that when we square both sides, we're going to get x is equal to 3. Now, this is the tricky part. This is not the correct answer. Plus or minus 3 is your correct answer. And what this means is that your answer can either be positive 3 or negative 3. The reason for this is because for x squared, if you put 3 into here, then you get 3 squared, which is 9. And that's what this is, since x squared is equal to 9. Now let's try putting negative 3 into there. And it still gives us the same answer, 9. Because they give us the same answer, they're both solutions. And we have to include all solutions. So in this case, the numbers that satisfy this equation is x is equal to positive 3 or negative 3. Moving on. Now for here, you want to make sure x is alone, and we want to get rid of this 13 first. So how do we get rid of that 13? We just subtract 13 on both sides. Now since this is also negative, we're just adding. 3 plus 2 is 5, 25. And because this is negative, this is going to be in total negative 25. Divided by negative 36x squared is like that. Now if we divide negative 36 on both sides to make sure x is alone, we have x squared is equal to negative 25 divided by negative 36. Now, because since we know that negative divided by a negative is just positive because these cancel out, we have 25 over 36. X is equal to x squared. Now, if we square root both sides, we get x is equal to, now, in here, we know that 25 is a complete square and 36 is also a complete square. So we can do this, square root of 25 over square root of 36, because we're basically going to be squaring both of them, square rooting both of the numbers. As a result, you would get 5 over 6. But that's not your only answer. Your answer also constitutes plus or minus, which is directly correlating to the problem number 1, where I said that there are 2 solutions to this case, plus 3 and minus 3. In here, your two solutions are 5 over 6, positive 5 over 6, and negative 5 over 6. Because if you square both of them, you get 25 over 36, 25 over 36, which is what x squared is equal to. Now that's it for Quadratic number 25.